This is Benchmark Happenings, brought to you by Benchmark Home Loans, with Jonathan Tipton and Steve Reed. Now your host, Christine Reed.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Benchmark Happenings. We have with us, we're going to do a little bit of a twist today on our podcast. So I have Mark Isaac with us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So Mark is, we're always interested in diets and fitness and what works, what doesn't. Even today, I think we're more obsessed with our body image and everything than we ever have been, right?
I think it's finally made it to this part of the country. In Florida and California, it started years ago, and where we live, I think things take a little longer to catch on. But the last, I think, 5 years, it has really picked up in this area. And I think I picked a great time to get into the business of personal training because of what you just said. I think now everyone is in this area is finally starting to get into fitness and maybe shy away a little bit from the biscuits and gravy that we're famous for here in the South and the sweet tea.
Oh, come on now. Sausage. You left out sausage gravy.
The sausage gravy.
And biscuits.
All the good kinds of gravy. And starting to think more about their health and fitness and just be a little more aware of their appearance and that just catching up with the rest of maybe the bigger city life or whatever. I think I picked a good time to get into the business, which was about 5 years ago.
5 years ago. So you're a personal trainer. And so the name of that business is?
It's Hit the Mark Personal Training.
Why is it called Hit the Mark?
My name is Mark. It has multiple meanings. So that came to me at some point, and I think it was a perfect name for the job because fortunately I've been able to hit the mark with most of my customers' goals, really 95% of them. So I've been really blessed to find really, an eating plans is the biggest wild card in personal training. I can work everyone out hard and everyone can do that in the gym, but it's what people do outside the gym that creates the results. And I've been blessed to find, some programs that people can stick with, that's easy, that's natural, that's not very hard to keep up with. So,
right. And I can so Hit the Mark is personal training with you. And then also you have a gym, downtown Kingsport.
I've been blessed this year to get my own personal training studio / small gym. I have a private fitness club with a limited membership because it's really about my clients. So I don't want a big membership. I don't want a lot of people in there. Actually, from 5 a.m. to about 2 p.m., it's 95% just my clients. I have 1 or 2 people that come in the day. And then most of my gym members come in after 3 p.m. So it's been a perfect scenario for my clients and for myself of having some gym members to offset the cost of rent and whatnot for the gym itself. And I still enjoy helping just gym members, with questions and answers and tips and whatnot. So it's been great. It's been a really blessing, which we just opened March 1st. So it's a new thing.
Oh, okay.
We're still evolving and learning, but I've been personal training for 5 years, but just got my own place in March 1st.
Got your own place in March.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, and I have to say that I started July the 4th. Yes. That's one thing. Actually, it was one of my girlfriends. She looks absolutely amazing. And she's been going to you for 2 years now?
Yes, and really got in her top shape about 9 or 10 months in, and it just she loves the training now and wants to maintain what she has, and that's been a great success story for her. And she's helped me a lot. People look at her, and she's just brought me a lot of clients just by her success. So
absolutely,
that's been a great thing.
Well, and that's why
And you're going to be my next. You're going to be my next star, and you're going to people look at you here in the future, and I'm sure you're going to bring me a lot of future clients too.
Well, we've got a lot of work to do, Mark. So we've got to hit the mark.
Time flies, and in no time, you're going to be one of my stars. I can already tell you're going to be one of my stars.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that confidence. So let's just dispel a few myths about weightlifting, because I have been working out off and on most of my adult life. And, women in particular, I think, really shy away from lifting weights or resistance training.
Yes.
Because they think they're going to bulk up and they're going to get like all these huge muscles. Share a little bit about that from your knowledge, Mark, over the years of actually doing a lot of personal training with women.
And 40 years of personal experience myself, not just 5 years of actually it being my career, but I've actually have done fitness for 40 plus years myself. And I've worked with several women.
That's amazing. 40 years of, most people burn out. And so you've kept going for 40 years in the fitness.
I think I'm addicted.
That's a good addiction.
It is a good addiction. There could be way worse.
That's a good addiction to have.
So what you mentioned is so true. Women think they're going to bulk up and develop this man-type body and physique. And I hate that from maybe, 0.5% women in the world will take it to the extreme and take some performance-enhancing drugs, which I hate to say, but supplements and whatnot. And 0.5% of the women that actually lift weights will take it to an extreme, and they have put a fear into the rest of the women in the world. And it's sad because that's not what happens. Women don't have the capability of developing a physique like a man. It's just not possible. So resistance training actually gives you that firm tone, athletic look. It actually makes you smaller, not bigger as a female. And I really hate the myths that are out there about resistance training for women, because it is so good for them and men, for everyone, and especially 40 and up, even better than for younger people, because it helps you maintain quality of life.
And let's share a few things, because you've really, I'm a nurse, and I've learned so much just from meeting with you during our training sessions about the benefits of resistance training, not only for your bone health. Yes, we all need to do that, but
especially for women. And
but talk about some of the posture control and the small muscles and the other benefits of resistance training.
It's funny that you mentioned the posture control, because it seems like that has become a really top issue with my clients. I would say 90% of my clients come in with bad posture and weak back muscles, and maybe the cell phone syndrome too, of looking down all day, or at the computer screen, or their cell phone, or their iPod. And that's been one thing that we've been able to work on with all of my clients. And I'm proud to say 95% of my clients have great posture now, no cell phone syndrome, no computer syndrome. All of my clients, have these upright, correct shoulder postures. And I didn't think that was going to be a goal of a lot of my clients, or for myself, for my clients. But that's been a great thing. It's been a really great thing to get people with good posture and get rid of their back problems. And not to mention getting in shape and looking good and fitting into their clothes better.
And you notice that. That is something that, we're always, that first impression of someone is within 30 seconds to a minute. And when I see someone, it gives you that confidence.
When you see someone with that appearance, you automatically know that person has confidence, and know that person carries themselves well. And I think, when you're in good physical condition, you get more respect in the public. And it's the way you carry yourself, the way your shoulders are, the way you carry your head upright and your chest upright. So those are extra benefits of, being in shape and being healthy and being strong and having quality of life, that you literally get more respect from the rest of the world when you're in shape, because a lot of people aren't.
Right.
And when you get in shape, you're, in this area right now, unfortunately, you're in the top 5 to 10% of the people in this area when you're in good condition, like your friend and yourself, and especially in the next few months, and all of my clients. We're definitely in the top 5% of physical condition in this area. And it only takes...
I was going to ask you. So one thing I will say, since I have started, my neck pain has gone away. My shoulder pain has gone away.
Fantastic.
Because that's the one thing that, when I first started, I was like, because I carry all my stress and tension in my shoulders and in my neck, because I'm in sales, but I also have to work in an office. So I'm in a desk, in a chair, working on a laptop, on a phone. And so those things, just within this short amount of time since July 4th, don't bother me anymore. I don't have that pain. But so let's talk about the time it takes to be fit.
Not long.
That's another myth.
A huge myth. People look at me and they ask me if I work out 2 to 3 hours a day. Is it 4 hours a day?
But that's what you're used to seeing. Like if you're in a gym, you see these, we used to call them gym rats.
Yes.
And they're there for like hours and you're thinking, okay, do they have a job? What do they do?
Exactly.
Like, I don't have the time to do that.
No. And those type people, they are not getting the bang for the buck out of their time, and they're not getting the development or the physical condition they could get if they did a shorter, intense routine. It seems to take about 40 minutes 3 times a week to be in really good physical condition. I work out myself 3 to 4 times a week for 40 minutes, and I am in pretty good physical condition. Strong. It's not about the time that you work out. It's about the intensity and the effort that you put into your 30 or 40 minutes 3 or 4 times a week. And then the rest of the time is about recovery and rest from those intense sessions. And that is literally how you make the best gains, get in the best shape. And you do not need to do hours and hours of cardio. I believe in steady state walking. It's very natural for the body. Jogging is not a good thing to maintain a healthy muscle mass percentage. Just natural walking, maybe a brisk walk on your days you don't lift, or maybe even on days you do lift for 30 or 40 minutes. But it does not take that long. And there are eating plans that are not super strict, where you can be lean and get in good shape and still have some of your favorite foods. Up to 4 or 5 times a week, you can eat a lot of your favorite foods and still get in shape. So a ton of myths out there, and you've learned that. You knew there were some myths when you came, and you've learned there's a lot more myths since you've been here.
Oh, yes.
But it's really not that difficult to be in really good shape if you just make a commitment to 3 days a week, maybe possibly in the gym, and another couple walking sessions on your own, just to maintain mobility. It's not that hard. It is really not that hard.
Well, and that's what I have found, that it's not that hard. But let's talk a little bit about intensity, because, I thought, I do pretty good. I was at my home. I have a gym and have my little 5-pound weights, and I'm doing my little bicep curls and triceps and extensions. And I was really surprised when you talked about, okay, that really doesn't do anything. It's okay.
It's okay.
But the intensity, and I think that's where having a personal trainer, if you can do that, or get a program and focus on pushing yourself. So talk about that weight.
Well, one good thing about a personal trainer, or even possibly a good friend, workout partner, is you need someone to do a couple of things for you. You need someone to push yourself just a little bit. And the second thing is to keep you safe. And sometimes we have to challenge the body if we want the body to change. If we just lift 5-pound weights, and you can lift 5-pound weights on day one, and you never try to lift a 10-pound weight or a 15-pound weight, you don't challenge the body, it's going to stay the same. So with a personal trainer, you're going to be safe because he's going to challenge your body with some heavier weights, but he's going to keep you safe while you do that. And then when you challenge your body, you're going to see the changes. And when you're at home with those 5-pound weights, it's easy not to challenge your body and do those last couple of sets or reps that really burn, that really may create the change. But if you have a good personal trainer, they're going to push you to that point where you're challenging the body and it's going to change. You're going to see results. And that's the kind of personal trainer you want. And you don't want one that's focused on super light weights and a lot of cardio. That is a myth. And there's a lot of personal trainers that do that, and they don't have hardly any transformation pictures on their walls. And when you're looking for a personal trainer, you need to look for some real transformations from their clients. If they don't have many, or if you're looking at a transformation that's 10 years apart, the first picture's 10 years ago, then there's a picture now, that's probably not your personal trainer either. You want to find someone that will challenge you with some heavy weights, not a ton of cardio. If you're 35 and 40 years and up, if you're younger, if you're maybe more obese, then cardio is definitely part of the program. But if you need to lose, like most people, anywhere from 15 to 50 pounds, then you need to find a trainer that's going to challenge you. That's going to, with some resistance training, not a ton of cardio, with a healthy diet that's easy to keep up with. And that's the person that's going to help you a lot. And that's what we do at Hit the Mark Personal Training and Dragon's Den Gym. We challenge people, we keep them safe, and then we get results. We get results.
Right. And I've seen those results. So it does make a difference. And I love the fact that it's just 3 days a week.
Yes.
So 40 minutes. But I think, like you said earlier, we can do all these things with exercise and lift weights, but it's really comes down to what we're feeding our bodies, because if we're not putting the right fuel, and, you can just Google on the internet, and people are so confused over fitness and nutrition because there's always an expert out there that claims, and there's so many diets out there. And I think, and I've been part of that, over the years, but let's talk a little bit about fuel and how we feed our bodies, maybe a little bit about fasting that might give people a little bit of freedom.
I love intermittent fasting, for my clients and myself. But
that's real popular right now.
It's very popular with my clients because it's easy to do. But there are, like you were saying, so many diets out there, and a lot of them work. And I've been to fitness, I guess, meetings and whatnot with other personal trainers, and they all have their favorite for their clients and whatnot. But what it comes down to, most eating plans that exist, like keto or Atkins, which is high fat, moderate protein, or you could do higher carb, super low fat. You could do 6 meals a day. You could do 2 meals a day. A lot of these diets, most of those diets I just mentioned, they work, but the one that's going to work the best for you is the one that you can stick with, the one that's good for your lifestyle. So with my clients, who are mostly professionals like yourself and the very busy schedules, the intermittent fasting is based on 2 meals a day. It's based on a light lunch, and then a kind of a heavy dinner is where you're going to get most of your calories. And most of my clients, since they're professionals, go with that plan and they stick to it. And I don't think it's any more magical than eating 6 or 7 times a day if you decide to meal prep and do that, or if you decide to do keto, do high fat and cut all your carbs out to almost zero. But some of those are harder to keep up with mentally, physically, and with your job. But the intermittent fasting just seems to be great for professionals that are busy, that are on the run, because you don't have to take time to eat much during the day. You have your big dinner at night when hopefully you can relax and let the food, go into the body. So that seems to be the go-to for 90% of my clients. And it works for 90%. I've had one or two people that didn't really respond to intermittent fasting, but we found something that worked for them. But it's just such a good program for busy people, and it does work for 90% of the people that try it.
Yeah, so. And I think it gives you that freedom if you eat out. Depending on what you choose.
Well, it does, and we didn't go kind of into that, but intermittent fasting has probably more freedom of food choices than any other program I've ever done. And I've done them all. Over 40 years, I've done all the programs.
Have you done the South Beach diet? Remember that one?
The South Beach, it's a great diet.
It is. It's very healthy.
Very healthy. And it works. It's just hard to stick to all the time.
Yeah. I think if we would just change our mindset and instead of thinking of diet as restriction, we need to think of diet as, did I eat it today? And did I eat protein? Did I have my healthy proteins, some healthy carbs, some healthy fats? And so that we're not starving our bodies, we're not restricting, because God created our bodies. We need those nutrients for it to function at a high level.
We definitely do. And I do believe in nutrients from across the board. Keto works. I'm not a huge fan because you're eating from a limited food source, but it does work. But I think eating plans that you can have food across the board from all different types of things, carbs, fats, proteins, they just seem more doable and easier to stick with. Just the extra variety seems to help a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I think they're good for the body too.
And like you said, it has to be realistic. It has to be something that consistency is the key, right? So if we're not consistent.
That is definitely the key. I'm glad you mentioned that.
And most of us, life is hard for everyone. There are challenges for all of us, whatever that may be. And there's always going to be that yo-yo, that up and down of, But I hope that people can understand that, if you didn't hit the mark today, guess what?
There's always tomorrow.
That's exactly right. There's always tomorrow that you can focus on doing the right things.
And life does happen. It really does. And missing a workout or two, a couple workouts, and that's not going to hurt a thing if you're consistent most of the time. And you nailed it on the head. Consistency in your training, consistency in your eating habits, and that's where the results are. And hopefully you get to the point where it becomes second nature and habit. You don't even have to think about it. And if you stick with it, for 60 to 90 days, it kind of becomes habit. So it's not as hard as people think. But having a professional to guide you, to motivate you, to make you accountable, there's really no better way if you are able and have the luxury to be able to afford a personal trainer or someone to help you with your fitness goals. Definitely do it. And if you don't, educate yourself. Talk to people in the gym, come by my gym, talk to me. I always try to make time to answer questions and whatnot. And
tell us where you're located. So give us some information on how we can contact you and where your gym is located, because I think that's important.
My gym is downtown Kingsport. It's in the heart of Kingsport. Very easy to get to. And it's a 24/7 gym. So we do have scanner to get in, but during the day, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., the door is always open. And then I'm on Facebook. I'm kind of on Instagram, but I got hacked. So Facebook right now is the main source to reach me at. If you have,
so you probably put something on there that you got hacked, a little on the right.
Oh, I got tricked. It was bad. But Facebook Messenger. You can text me direct at my gym's number, which is my cell phone. But I think if you have Facebook, just hit me up on Messenger, and I will definitely get back with you. Come by the gym. It's 310 Cherokee Street, Kingsport. It's right in the middle, right in the heart of Kingsport, right downtown. Definitely reach out to me if you have questions. We can do it over the phone. We can do it at the gym. But if you come to the gym, my clients are kind of back to back, 5 a.m. Kind of all day. I have a midday break, but let's schedule something. Let's just showing up. It doesn't really work, but let's definitely schedule something, and I'll help you in any way I can.
Right. Respect your time and just make that appointment
I don't
and
want to
your
stop
clients.
with a client.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask a kind of a difficult question here. So with your clients, there's no silver bullet, right?
No.
We talk about a secret sauce, but how do when people come to you, do you think that they have a certain level of motivation, or are there things that you help do to motivate a client?
I think the motivation, if I'm understanding your question correctly, comes from results. I think that's where most of the motivation comes from. I guess just like in a job, the motivation comes from money. And the motivation, and it should come from results. But you're there. We have a good time at
it is
hitting the mark, personal training.
And you don't realize that you've gone through your circuit and time's up before you know it.
And I'm a people person, and I've been blessed with the best clients. I really have. My clients are pillars in the community. They're good people. They give back to the community, and I get to work with those people, and I have a ton of fun.
Right.
I've had a couple clients that were not high energy, weren't thrilled to be there, complain all the time, and I do the best I can.
There's always one or two, right?
There's always a couple of those, but I've been really blessed. 90% of my clients have been they're great people, and they have their own, they bring their own energy to the gym, and then I give them my energy, and we fuel off each other, and we really have a great time. I had several new people start this week, and they're great people. I don't know how I'm getting these great people, but
that's wonderful.
But somebody upstairs loves me. Is looking out for me because he's bringing me really good people. So I am blessed to be around.
And let's give a plug for Tina, because Tina is the one who actually introduced me to you. I'd seen her results, and because she lost a lot of weight. So go see Tina. She works for Conservis Real Estate. She is one fantastic realtor. And we love Tina. Tina actually has been working with Steve, my husband, at Benchmark Home Loans for many years. So,
and this is Tina Gale, just to let everybody know.
Tina Gale,
an amazing person,
she
one of those amazing people I was talking
Conservis.
about. Yes, at Conservis,
and really Conservis,
and she's a little fitness model now.
She is.
She has really developed a great physique, and I'm so proud of her.
And and I think about Tina's Gale being such a good example for us, because she is that professional. She's very busy, and she but anyway, we love her, and I just wanted to give a little plug for her at Conservis.
Definitely, because she's brought me a ton of business just from herself getting in such good shape. So yes, let's a shout out to Tina Gill. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Mark, is there anything else? I know we've talked about a lot. We've talked about fitness, exercise, resistance training, nutrition, and motivation. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we wrap it up?
Well, just let's reiterate just one thing that we touched on earlier. It does not take that much time. I have a great eating plan that's easy to keep up with. If you have 40 minutes for the actual session, 35 to 40 minutes for the actual training session, that leaves you 20 minutes driving time or changing clothes. 3 days a week, we can get you in great shape. Mm-hmm. It's not that complicated. You just show up. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to change your weights. You don't have to touch the weight. I'm going to hand you everything, tell you what to do.
You spoil us, Mark. That's what it is. We don't have to do anything.
And you just lift when I say lift. That's all you have to do. And just give it a chance. It's not scary. Oh, and it's one-on-one. We didn't mention that. When you come to my studio, there won't be anyone there, just you and I. Possibly one other member in the gym somewhere.
In the transition.
There may be one gym member that's not doing personal training.
Sure.
But you will meet someone in transition, but it's just going to be one-on-one. So I think that's a big deal. You don't have to worry about, looking funny or anything like that, because no one's going to see you. It's just going to be you and I. So I think that's a big factor.
That is.
Yes. So,
for a lot of people, because a lot of people won't go because they're like, I see all these people, and it just, they feel intimidated by that. And so I think that's a really good point, Mark. It's one-on-one. It's a very private.
Yes.
And nobody's looking at you. You don't have to worry about it. It's just you and Mark.
Yes. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to have fancy gym clothes. You don't have to. Just show up. Show up, and I'll take care of the rest. You just give me a little bit of effort, and things will happen. They really will.
And put the right fuel in your body.
Yes, and I can help you with that.
Absolutely. So. Well, Mark, it's been a pleasure to have you on today. I know you're super busy and you've got some new clients, but I really thank you for your time today and coming in and talking with us. And we hope to have a follow-up. Maybe we'll do a follow-up in about 3 months to see where I'm at on the fitness journey.
I'm ready whenever you are.
I might flex my guns on video or something, say, hey, look at where I am.
Maybe we'll wear our gym clothes.
We'll do that.
Yes,
let's wear our gym clothes.
I've got my semi-gym clothes on now. Maybe we'll wear our gym clothes.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you having me over.
Our pleasure.
It's been a great time.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.